exhibition game for the guys against Emory-Henry. That was a fun game. Didn't have you on the commentary and definitely missed you that night, so it's good to have you back, buddy.
Well, you definitely hold down the fort. You took care of things. You handled things. You were on the wheel, and you did a great job on that broadcast, holding it down solo. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the matchup here tonight. We have two of the top winning teams in the country, Campbellsville University of Harrodsburg, along with Pensacola Christian College. One team's at number 2, one team's at number 5. We also have two of the best scorers in the country showcased tonight.
It's going to be a really fun matchup tonight. For Campbellsville University, we got number 2, Oriana Woods, who's averaging 29 points per game, leading the nation in scoring. She's a very, very good ball player, gets to her spots and knows what she's doing. And then we obviously have, I believe, the third best scorer in the country, Leah Phelps, who's averaging 20.5 points per game. It's going to be a really fun game to watch tonight. A lot of pace and a lot of good ball players on the court.
Pensacola just coming off of a 4-game away trip in Alaska, and they played against Trinity Baptist and beat them by a huge double-digit score, but started off very slow. A 10-0 run to open it.
Yeah, they were down 10-0 early, ended up being up, I believe it was 28-26 at halftime, but definitely pulled away in that game and were able to extend it to a 20-plus victory. Monse Torres for the Lady Eagles really stepped up, set a career high for herself, 22 points in her first career double-double with 11 rebounds. It was a great performance by her. Early in the first half, we were talking through some struggles, and Leah Phelps was struggling a little bit to score, so it's good that sophomore Monse Torres was able to step up and help lead the Lady Eagles to that victory.
We'll talk about that third quarter of basketball for Pensacola. They nearly matched the entire first half scoring they did with 34 outstanding points in the third.
Defensively, they really picked up. They switched to a man and just played straight up and tried to put a lot of ball pressure, forced some extra turnovers, were able to get out in transition, and opened up some opportunities, and the Lady Eagles got exactly what they wanted in that third quarter.
Campbellsville University of Harrodsburg also picked up another win for themselves. 92-74 was that score, and Oriana Woods with 41 points in that contest.
She played extremely well. She likes to play inside, went a little short corner to short corner, picks up those offensive rebounds, gets some putbacks. Another thing about Oriana is she's the nation's leader in free throws made, so she gets to the line, and when she does, she's not going to miss those free ones.
Shoots at 63% for the season. Braden, we have an exciting matchup on our hands.
I'm really excited for this. Talked about a minute ago. There's a lot of pace on both sides. Both teams like to get up and down. They like to play fast, like to play physical, and I think it's going to be a really fun game for our viewers to watch.
Coach Brian Dribble, the coach for the Pioneers, in his 5th season, bringing his team to the region championship as either a runner-up or winning it like they did last year in every season.
Very good coach, very good team. They got a great chemistry. One thing you notice early on, just watching them warm up and watching them interact with their coach, they all have a very good relationship and almost a friendship-style coach and player relationship. And it's very good to see that. That's something Coach Sellers has as well with his girls, which is why we got two of the best programs in the country clashing tonight.
Coach Sellers in his 12th season National Coach of the Year, coaching his team. What do you think they're going to have to do to possibly stop Oriana?
I think they're going to have to go zone because of her size and strength. I'm not sure if we have anybody who can play her one-on-one defensively, so I think the Lady Eagles are going to pick up zone a little bit, try and pressure the ball and force them to shoot a little bit of some outside shots and get into some things that they don't really want to get into.
Go ahead and take it over to our PA announcer. We will step aside momentarily for the tip-off.
Welcome to the Nest, the home of the Pensacola Christian College Eagles. Tonight's game is between the Campbellsville University Lady Pioneers and your PCC Lady Eagles. The National Christian College Athletic Association is committed to the true spirit of competition and upholding the 4 core values of the game plan for life: love, integrity, faith, and excellence. We ask that each participant, official, and spectator join us in exhibiting these Christ-like characteristics and help create a positive environment in which to enjoy today's competition. At this time, please stand for prayer and remain standing for the national anthem. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for getting Campbellsville here safely. Lord, we pray as these ladies play that you keep them safe from injuries, help the officials to make the right calls, and help us as fans to honor and glorify you in everything we say and do. In your name, amen. Tonight's sports medicine coverage is provided by the Andrews Institute and Baptist Healthcare, the official sports medicine provider for Pensacola Christian College. Starting tonight for Campbellsville, number 0, Carolina Gonzalez. Number 2, Oriana Woods. Number 11, Talia Todd. Number 12, Bianca Cunningham. And number 24, Jaden Douthit. The Pioneers are led by Coach Brian Tribble. And now the starting lineup for your Pensacola Christian College Lady Eagles. At guard, a junior from Mansfield, Ohio, number 14, Jenna Wolford. At forward, a sophomore from San Juan del Rio, Mexico, number 21, Montse Torres. At guard, a senior from Flower Mound, Texas, number 23, Leah Phelps. At guard, a junior from Florence, Mississippi, number 24, Alyssa Brewer. And at forward, a senior from Rockford, Illinois, number 33, Carissa Aiken. The Eagles are led by Coach Jared Sellers with assistant coach Heather Sellers.
Thank you, our PA announcer, actually Braden Motter, for fulfilling multiple roles here tonight.
They got me running all over the place, but I love it.
One thing that's super interesting to note, Campbellsville University-Harrodsburg is undefeated against ranked opponents this year, as Talia Todd and Carissa Aiken meet to the center court for the tip-off. The Pioneers will take over. Pensacola sitting in a man scheme. Hard drive to the basket, and Jenna Wolford takes the charge.
Early charge, gets up there grimacing a little bit, maybe bumped her elbow on the floor, but we talk about almost every time we're on the commentary, Jenna's a very good charge taker, good anticipating defender, and knows where that offensive player is going to go before they get there.
Pensacola in a man scheme, that possession. Here's Wolford stopping on a dime for a jumper. No good in the hands of Aiken. Woods comes up with it. Gets it over to Gonzalez. One more man to beat off the backboard and is for Carolina Gonzalez.
Early on we see here Campbellsville pressing with a little bit of a man press, just trying to maybe speed up the Lady Eagles even more than they already play. Both teams getting up and down with a lot of pace early on.
Here is Brewer with the handoff to Wolford. Torres inside, gets fouled, no basket. But actually will pick up a traveling violation instead.
It's a good drive there by Montse Torres, going through the contact, going strong. Unfortunately, took another extra step just before making that contact, so she wasn't able to get that foul call.
Todd, one more to Wood. She works inside, off the side of the rim, no good. Here's Wolford.
One thing to note about both these teams is they're a little undersized. No one here stands above 6 foot, but both teams very good rebounding teams. They make a conscious effort to crash the glass both offensively and defensively.
Douthis with the rebound finds Woods, stops on a dime for a jumper off the opposite side of the rim. Brewer pushing the tempo.
Great transition contest there from Carissa Aiken. Didn't back off, wasn't scared of the defense. As a good coast-to-coast take there from Alyssa Brewer. As I was saying, good challenge there from Carissa Aiken, getting a hand up on, obviously we've talked about the best scorer in the nation.
Brewer going from Vermont to Pensacola and gets to the basket and scores. Floater in the lane for the Pioneers, no good. Woods the rebound, works inside and draws the whistle.
It's a good, strong offensive rebound there from Oriana. Great defense from the Lady Eagles on the initial shot, but I was just talking about rebounding a moment ago. Lady Eagles need to make sure, knowing Oriana's a really good offensive rebounder and finisher around the basket, got to be smart and make sure we're boxing her out.
If there is one name we're going to be talking about on multiple occasions tonight, it is indeed Oriana Woods as she misses the first. Her scoring ability is second to none. She misses both free throws, and Wolford misses the possession, which will give the Pioneers a fresh 30. The first substitution in the game, number 1, Kaylin Williams, the senior out of Indianapolis, Indiana, will come in for Carolina Gonzalez. Now number 24, Jaden Douthis for the inbound. They get it quickly to Williams. Now back to Douthis. Screen by Woods. And Douthis for the jumper and connects from the free throw line extended.
That's a good hedge there from Monse Torres. Unfortunately, Douthit was able to get to her spot and pull up even over her. So if you're going to hedge that screen, you got to make sure you got to step up on the hedge. You can't just hedge flat and give them an opportunity to shoot the ball.
They go inside to Torres. Bounce pass to Wolford. Skies the jumper. Rather the layup, no good. Now in the hands of Torres. Goes inside to Aiken. Layup up and no good. Aiken trying to get a second chance opportunity now in the hands of Oriana Woods.
Lady Eagles early on struggling with their easy finishes around the basket, something I know Coach Sellers isn't going to be too happy with.
Woods straight to the basket. Aiken with the double team and will be called for the foul.
That foul there on Monse Torres on that dribble drive from Oriana. Tried to step up and take a charge. Got there a little bit late, got the blocking call. Woods headed to the free throw line for 2 more.
Woods, a scoring phenom for the Pioneers offense. First game of the season, had 33 points, had 41 twice, a career high for her. And against Toccoa Falls, the number 6 team in the nation and the number 2 team in the South region, had 36. Free throw up and good for Oriana Woods.
Quickly, we see there Campbellsville falls out of that full court press. Although the Lady Eagles weren't finishing their transition buckets, Coach was able to see that they were getting to their layups a little too easily, smartly pulled his team out of that press.
Sitting back in a zone, here's Phelps kicking it to Aiken. 12 remaining on the shot clock. Phelps finds Aiken, one more pass to Brewer. Torres back to Brewer, she'll take a 3. Off the side of the rim in the hands now of Oriana Woods, her second defensive rebound and a defensive possession. Woods will attack the basket. No good. Rebound. Also no good for number 10, Kamaya Johnson. Pensacola now off to the races.
Good
Phelps, one more pass to the short corner to Brewer. And now Torres doing a great job running the floor, lays it off the backboard.
Great rim run from Monse Torres. She was trailing the play a little bit, being a little slow to get out in transition, but kept rim running the whole way and got that easy 2 from the great pass from Alyssa Brewer.
Near turnover there for the Eagles, but Kamaya Johnson will pick up the foul in the open court. That's her first.
One thing Coach Sellers is preaching over here on the sideline, as soon as the Lady Eagles are grabbing the rebound, he doesn't care who's grabbing it, is to get out in transition and go. Campbellsville likes to pressure the person who gets that rebound, maybe even try and double team him, and he's trying to tell him to quickly outlet that ball and get it up the floor and take advantage of that potentially 4-on-3 on the backside.
Aiken will hand it over to Brewer. Brewer working on her smaller defender and misses the entirety of the rim. Here is Cunningham in transition, finds a wide open Wood, and she beats everyone to the cup. Oriana Woods. Here is Wolford for a triple of her own, no good. Another rebound for the Pioneers.
I believe that's the first three-point attempt by any player in the game so far.
Aiken with the lazy turnover gives the Pioneers a fresh 30. Finds Woods. One more pass to Johnson. Short jumper. Good for the Pioneers. And the first team to reach double digits.
Luckily for the Lady Eagles, 10-4 is not the end of the world, but Sellers obviously a little unhappy with the way his Eagles are playing, giving up some easy points and some poor turnovers early in that quarter.
5:31 remaining. We will step aside. .531 remaining in the first quarter of basketball. Alvin Chapman alongside with Braden Motter. 10-4 is the score. Pensacola now trailing.
Lady Eagles, like we were just talking about in between that break there, Lady Eagles struggling with some of the simple stuff, missing some layups, miscommunication on rebounds and defensively. So Coach Sellers needed that time out there trying to get his girls on the same page.
Misfire on the dribble. Now in the hand of Rachel Phelps. Quick snatchback dribble. Now in the hands of Brewer. Brewer with the jump shot, misses the entirety of the rim. Oriana Woods now with possession.
A couple substitutions for the Lady Eagles, freshman Rachel Phelps, and then senior transfer Addie Burleson sub into the game for their first time.
Great move to the basket by the graduate student, Bianca Cunningham. Great hesitation to get to the cup. Phelps will drive to the basket, and the help side block by Johnson.
That's a great take from Leah Phelps. Good head fake on that three-point shot. The Pioneers know that Leah Phelps is one of the best three-point shooters in the country, so they're running her off the line, and then that help defense is trying to get there before she gets to the basket.
They get it to Torres before time expires. Now in the hands of Addison Burleson, the recent transfer from Fredericksburg, Texas. Right in the hands of Johnson. Now back in the hands of Phelps and the Pensacola Christian College Eagles. Rachel Phelps, jumper, no good. Now in the hands of Torres. They get it to Burleson. Pump fake, jumper on the way. And a great mid-range jumper for Addison Burleson for her first points ever at home.
Great ball movement there from the Lady Eagles. Poor turnover there, but obviously quickly got it back. Alyssa Brewer with a steal. And a good ball movement there. Good head fake from Addie. Good shot.
They get it to Bree Anthony. Jumper on the way, no good. Baseball pass ahead to Leah Phelps. She corrals it and keeps it in bounds. Phelps with the shot, and I believe an offensive foul. An elbow call on Leah Phelps. Now 24, Jaden Doufus will check back in the game for Kamaya Johnson.
It's a good outlet pass there from Alyssa Brewer to Leah Phelps streaking down the floor. She tried to get, she had Addie trailing, trying to get a drop-off pass, but Phelps took it downhill and turned the ball over, unfortunately.
Doufus jumper, right for being re-entered to the game. She knocks it down. Doufus averaging 15 points per game, along with 5 rebounds. They get it inside to Burleson. Burleson works inside on her defender, throws it up at the backboard, and draws the foul. Good
post move there from Addie, trying to go up and under the defender. maybe a little bit wayward on the shot attempt there, but did get to the free throw line for 2 free ones as Jenna Wolford and Amber Porter subbing into the game. Amber touching the floor for the first time in 2023 at home.
Burleson at the line. She had a career-high 9 points against Johnson University on the road. First free throw, just out of the rim. The transfer from Gordon College in Pennsylvania, also Emmanuel in North Georgia. Second free throw attempt, no good for Burleson. Woods throws it ahead to a wide open man. And Burleson makes it to the other side of the road from making the free throw and fouls number 11, Talia Todd.
One note for Campbellsville early on is they have 5 scorers in 14 points. That's not super common. A lot of times, especially early in the game, when you get 14 points, it's usually because a player kind of gets hot and knocks down a couple early shots. But Campbellsville's scoring is very spread right now. That's one thing that the Lady Eagles are obviously struggling with is there's not one person that's beating them. Everybody on the floor is contributing and causing a problem for the Lady Eagles defense.
Todd now with her second attempt. Good. Knocks them both down and gives the first double-digit lead for the Pioneers. They get it to Burleson. Puts the ball on the floor, guarded by Woods. Goes corner to Porter, and she saves it right into the hands of Woods. Woods pushes the tempo. Untouched to the basket. No good for Oriana Woods. Phelps double-teamed, and I believe steps out of bounds before advancing the ball.
Something I talked about early on, Coach Sellers is trying to get his Lady Eagles to pass the ball out when you get that rebound. Look for a quick outlet pass, because as we see right there, Leah Phelps comes down with the rebound, and she's immediately triple-teamed, not just double-teamed. She's triple-teamed on that rebound. Pioneers are really trying to force the ball out of the rebounders' hands, not only to get it out of their hands, but trying to get that early turnover.
Cunningham kicks corner for a three-point attempt, and that is good for Tanaya Cecil. First three-pointer of the game.
Yeah, that 3 pushes Campbellsville to a 13-point lead as Jenna Wolford there struggles to knock down the easy layup there. Good rebound from the Lady Eagles.
Wolford driving baseline, a lot of contact, and she will head to the charity stripe. Great extra pass by Porter from the Burleson rebound. That'll send Jenna Wolford to the free throw line. Wolford, the junior out of Mansfield, Ohio, the second leading scorer for this basketball team, averaging 12 points per game and also shooting 33% from the field.
Alyssa Brewer just checked back into the game and first time on the home floor in 2023. Once again is Kristen Menser.
A lot of firsts here tonight. As now Wolford knocks down the first one, anticipating the second. Just out. Rebound by Cunningham. Cunningham drives to the gut of the defense, alters her shot, and somehow finishes. Biggest lead of the game for the Pioneers, 14 points, the deficit.
That was a great driving move there from Bianca Cunningham. She switched hands mid-air to her left hand, went up through a little bit of contact from Jenna Wolford and was able to knock down the left-handed floater.
3 in the corner for Wolford, no good. Here's Todd advancing it. Cunningham had the basket, the possession to go, gets past her defender, drops it down to Woods, right out of the rim. In the hands now, Burleson. Brewer skips it to Wolford. Stops on the dime for a jumper off the back of the rim. Baseball pass in the hands of Wood. Wood backs down her defender towards the basket, no good. A minute 20 remaining in the first quarter. Shuffle pass to Brewer. Knocks down the mid-range jumper. Here is Cunningham. Cunningham, untouched to the basket, kicks it corner. Doufus for his 3, the second of the contest. Timeout for Pensacola as they now trail big.
Douthat now leads all scorers with that 3-pointer, pushes her to 7 points.
And I believe the timeout not granted for Coach Sellers.
Little bit of a miscommunication here between
Smart move not to call the timeout with a minute remaining in the quarter.
Yeah, I think part of the problem is Coach Sellers tried to call a timeout earlier in the possession, but because the Pioneers had just grabbed the ball, he wasn't able to call the timeout, and I think the ref made the assumption that he wanted it right after their made basket there. But obviously not what Coach Sellers wanted, denying that timeout with a minute left.
Torres picks up her dribble and finds Menser. Menser dribbles through traffic, finds Wolford. Aiken, now Menser. Stifling defense by the Pioneers.
Yeah,
and a steal by Cunningham.
The Lady Pioneers really get after it defensively. They know what they're trying to do. And they pressure the ball very well. Whistle there. They pressure the ball very, very well. And on those attempted dribble handoffs, they try and deny that handoff. Lady Eagles need to catch on to that a little quicker, make a quick back cut for an easy bounce pass, and then leave a 2-on-1 on the backside with that help defender, and then either a corner kick out or a little backside cut from the secondary offensive player.
Loose ball foul on the rebound for the Pioneers will send Torres to the line. Monte Torres, 10 of 11 in their last contest against Trinity Baptist. Perfect from the charity stripe in the third quarter. Knocks down the first one, Monte Torres. 29 seconds remaining on the shot clock, rather game clock. Possibly the last possession of the game as Torres knocks down the second. Brewer saves it in the hands of Menser, but a backcourt violation was called.
It was a great steal attempt there from Melissa Brewer. She actually did get the steal, but on the save attempt, she threw it back to Kristen Menser, who was just behind the half-court line, gets that over and back call. Can't get mad at either player there. Kristen was trying to get out in transition, and Brewer with that great defense.
There's some things you just appreciate the hustle more than the possession. Now here's Doubtfus. Hit a three in the last offensive possession for the Pioneers. Doubtfus drives inside, kicks corner to Todd. Three on the way, and a second three of the game for the Pioneers to stretch the lead like a curtain. All the way to the basket, coast to coast, beats the buzzer. Alyssa Brewer.
The Lady Eagles really needed that, struggling defensively, giving up almost 30 points there in that first quarter, but great court awareness from Alyssa Brewer there, knowing that there was only about 5-6 seconds left on the clock when she got that inbounds pass, pushed with a lot of pace, was able to get downhill and finish in transition.
More action from the number 5 team and number 2 team in the country after the quarter break. Ten more minutes of basketball here in the Nest. Pensacola trailing by 14. Alvin Chapman alongside Braden Motter. Braden, what a first half in favor of the Pioneers.
Yeah, just looking at the stats that we just got here, 3-point, they're shooting 75%. Granted, they've only shot 4 times, but they're 3 of 4 from behind the arc, and as a team shooting 50% from the field. That's an insanely high number. Defensively, the Lady Eagles need to make their shots a little more difficult. You're not going to be able to stop great shots like we remember that transition layup where Bianca, I believe it was, switched hands midair. Stuff like that is going to be tough to defend. But if you can avoid giving up easy open shots and just defensively make things a little bit more difficult, that shooting percentage will fall, and it'll give you an opportunity to fight back into this game.
The Pioneers in a full court press after the turnover by Bianca Cunningham. Aiken finds Menser, puts the ball on the floor, floater in the lane, and it is good for Kristen Menser, her first points of the ball game.
That's a great dribble drive from Kristen Menser. Ripped and went into the paint, saw the help defender coming, stopped short, put up a little floater.
Woods, hard off the back of the rim, right at the hands of Monte Torres. Another attempt for Oriana Woods, no good. Menser pushing the break. Torres, corner to Wolford, keeps it in bounds, finds a cut in Aiken, and she loses possession.
Can't get too mad there. Kristen Menser and Carissa Aiken both running downhill, rim running, didn't see each other. I guess that's something you could be a little upset about, is not running with your head up. But good rim run by both of them, and good find there from Jenna Wolford trying to find the cutter. Just kind of confuses both of them, not sure which one is going to go for it.
Bree Anthony will come into the game for Carolina Gonzalez. Cunningham, step back jumper off the front of the rim, in the hands now of Brewer. Alyssa Brewer will drive coast to coast once again and will draw another whistle. Leah Phelps coming to the table, as well as number 4 for Campbellsville, Quinn Arnold.
One thing to notice there is if you were watching that transition push from the Lady Eagles, you saw 3 of the Campbellsville players really trail in that play. Looked like they were running, but running very, very slowly, getting up and down the floor. Played with a lot of pace, and we're knocking down a lot of shots there in that first quarter. Maybe a little bit of that adrenaline has worn off, and they're getting a little gassed a little early here in the second quarter. Hopefully the Lady Eagles can take advantage of it, as Brewer has the chance here to make 2 free throws and pull it back to a 10-point deficit.
Alyssa Brewer with an impressive performance against Trinity Baptist. 11 points and 10 rebounds.
Good double-double there from Alyssa Brewer. We talked about earlier in the broadcast, I think it may have been pregame, about how both these teams have very good rebounding guards. None of them are too oversized or really true good post players. As Monte Torres with a unforced turnover there, throws it straight to Oriana Woods, and she got an easy transition layup there, pushes the Pioneers' lead back to 12.
We'll step aside after the timeout and the turnover by Torres. Welcome back, fans. After that timeout, Alvin Chapman alongside with Braden Motter. Braden, another slow start here for Pensacola.
Yeah, we remember that Trinity Baptist game had a slow start like we talked about earlier, a 10-0 deficit to start that game. Obviously fought back and was able to, I believe they got the lead back before the first quarter ended, but that just shows the resilience of this Lady Eagles team, and I think they're ready to fight back into this game as well.
With no possession of the basket, Woods does a great job laying that one off the glass and in to push the lead even further. And Wolford with the response. Cuts the lead to 12. Another 3 for Douthis. No good. Phelps with numbers. She'll stop on a dime for a jumper. And that's good for Leah Phelps.
Her first points of the night, that's big for Leah. A lot of times she just needs to see the ball go in the hole, get that confidence, get that mid-range jumper that we know she loves, and start knocking down some shots, help pull the Lady Eagles back into this game.
Woods gets it stripped by Phelps. She leads the charge. One more man to beat. Step through move to the basket. Just falls out the rim. Ball out of the hands of Wolford. And Geisler and Rachel Phelps comes into the game for Alyssa Brewer and Carissa Aiken.
Does good team defense there from Lady Eagles. Like we've talked about Oriana Woods being the best scorer in the nation. We know that when she gets downhill, she's really going down trying to score. Good help defense there. Maybe got away with a little bit of a foul there, but was able to push in transition. Leah Phelps unable to knock down that step-through move there.
That's an offensive foul by Leah Phelps. And that's another on Cunningham.
That's a great charge take there from Jenna Wolford. Again, we've talked about she baits her into it. She takes one step in toward, she takes a couple steps with you, gets you gaining momentum, and then she takes a big step up, takes that charge attempt.
Pensacola now trailing by 10, doing a great job cutting into this deficit. Here is Rachel Phelps. Hands it off to her sister. Phelps by herself to the basket. I believe that was blocked. Geisler there for the second chance opportunity.
That's one thing Holland does really well. She always gets to the right spot, and she's always on that offensive glass. Every time she gets subbed into the game, she plays really hard. She grabs those offensive rebounds and puts them back up for 2 easy ones.
Pensacola cuts the lead back to single digits, down by 8 with 6 remaining in the half.
One thing you noticed there while the Lady Eagles were inbounding on this end, you saw Campbellsville on this half of the floor. 3 of their players had their hands on their hips and they were bent down a little bit. I think this pace of play is getting maybe a little bit too much for them, and they were unable. They were unable to maybe stick with this pace as Oriana Woods gets downhill there and puts herself at the free throw line. But the Lady Eagles pace right now is really fast, making Campbellsville a little bit tired.
That foul actually on the floor for Woods. Here's Douthis. One more pass for another three-point opportunity. I believe that one was touched. But number 1, Kaylin Williams, will knock down the triple. The 4th 3 in the game for the Pioneers. Phelps misses the jumper, rather the layup. Williams drives, no good. Geisler the rebound. Baseball pass to Rachel Phelps. Finds a cutting Geisler. One more to Torres, off the backboard and in.
Great find there from Holland Geisler. Good outlet pass there from Rachel Phelps to Leah Phelps. Smart play there, finding the trailing Holland, and a great dump off for an easy Monte Torres layup.
Pensacola now down by 9. Here's Douthis, guarded by Phelps. She'll take a jumper, hard off the rim. Wolford will bring it up herself, guarded by Williams. Wolford will hand it off to Torres, and that is a foul on Jenna Wolford. That's her 3rd. That'll possibly send her to the bench. We don't talk about calls here, but that one could be costly, sending Jenna Wolford to the bench possibly for the remainder of the half.
Yeah, that's a tough call there. Not sure what she did wrong, but ref obviously saw it some way that we didn't.
Douthis responds with a short jumper. She now has 9. Brewer will go to Phelps in the corner, and hits the 3 in response to the adversity. What a 3 there by Leah Phelps. Give her 5 in the half. We'll step aside after the full timeout. Five remaining in the half. 8-point deficit for Pensacola after the 3 made by Leah Phelps. She now has 5 after a quiet first quarter.
Yeah, we talked about earlier, Leah just kind of needed to see the ball go in the hole, and that's exactly what she's done. She saw that mid-range jumper go down, and now she found that 3-point shot.
Woods off balance, no good, off the hands of Geisler on the rebound attempt.
Good defense there from the Lady Eagles, closing out on that shooter, knowing Oriana is going to try and get downhill a little bit. Monse Torres was able to get a hand up, unable to grab that offensive or defensive rebound though.
Ball in the hand, number 32, Tanaya Cecil. Now back to Williams in the corner for another three-point attempt. No good, but rebounds her miss. Floater in the lane, hard off the back of the rim. No good. Now Douthis in the lane. Layup no good. Rebounded by Phelps. Now in the hand of Brewer. Cuts through the defense. Finds Torres all the way to the basket. Easy for Monse Torres.
That gives Monse Torres 8 points on the night. She's playing really well right now. Once again, saw a good rim run there. Rachel Phelps with a great steal, finds her sister, gets to her mid-range pull-up, leaves it a little bit short. One thing to note, Lady Eagles in that last defensive possession gave Campbellsville 4 opportunities. Luckily, they weren't able to capitalize, but you can't give this team that many opportunities. They're bound to make one of those shots.
Johnson, jumper, no good. Douthis the rebound, second chance opportunity. Now in the hands of Williams. Dribbles through, stolen by Brewer. Brewer leads the charge, has a wide open Phelps, hits her, layup on the left side, good for Leah Phelps. Pensacola makes it now a 4-point deficit as they were recently going into the quarter down by 14.
It's a great quarter from the Lady Eagles. We talked about pace of play. Campbellsville struggling defensively to get up and down the floor with the Lady Eagles. As you can see there, Lady Eagles pull that rebound down. You got 2 Campbellsville players walking in the backcourt as Lady Eagles are pushing the floor.
Brewer, but Phelps! Foul and 1! My apologies there for the mispronouncing of her name, but Leah Phelps having a huge second quarter as she will head to the charity stripe.
That gives her 9 points here just in the second quarter, and there's still 3.5 minutes left. So in about 6.5 minutes of play, she's got 9 points, gets herself an and 1, gives herself a chance to get 10, bring the Lady Eagles back to 1.
Bree Anthony and Bianca Cunningham check into the competition for the Pioneers. Very impressive by the Pensacola offense, taking a 14-point deficit and now only being down by 1 with 3 minutes of play in the second quarter. Douthis finds Cunningham. Cunningham will take a screen by Johnson. Douthis opposite corner takes a jumper, no good in the hands of Torres.
Talking about fatigue and pace of play, Lady Eagles have a 3-on-1 on the backside. Holland Geisler with an easy layup there pushes the Lady Eagles into their first lead of the game.
This is unbelievable. Steal by Phelps. One more man to beat. Wide open layup. The biggest lead of the game for Pensacola.
Lady Eagles picking it up here in the second quarter. Like I've talked about so many times, this pace of play, Campbellsville doesn't seem to be able to keep up. Coach Brian from Campbellsville needs that timeout. Lady Eagles go on a huge second quarter run, push their lead to 3.
Woods will check into the ball game. Down by 14 at the half, now leading by 3. We'll step aside. .248 remaining. Alvin Chapman alongside Braden Motter. Braden, what a second quarter we have seen as Pensacola overcomes a 14-point deficit.
That press is putting a lot of pressure on Campbellsville. Campbellsville struggling to communicate, and we've talked about many times on air and even there in the break. A lot of fatigue you can see for Campbellsville. Got a 3 seconds in the lane, an unforced turnover there from Campbellsville. Love seeing the fans get into it. Love seeing the bench get into it. Love seeing the Lady Eagles fight back into the lead for this game.
It was a 3-second violation, but the shot clock was dwindling down to 5 seconds, so Pensacola was forcing a tough possession either way. Torres hands it off to Phelps. Stops on a dime for a 3-point attempt. No good. Rebounded by Todd. She pushes it up ahead to Cunningham. Takes the contact. Blocked by Phelps, but a foul before the rejection.
That was a good block attempt there from Rachel Phelps. You'd like to see her maybe try and beat her to the spot and get that charge call, but a good block attempt there. Did get all ball, but obviously a lot of body in there too, so gets that foul call and sends Campbellsville to the free throw line.
She does a great job pacing herself before getting to the defender. Instead of running right at her, she kind of takes a curve towards the block attempt. But that brings Cunningham to the line and swirls in the first attempt for her. Cunningham with 4 points in the first quarter and a really pretty layup going down the lane as well.
Yeah, we talked about that switch in the air while she was hanging right hand to left hand to a floater. Really good play there from her. Lady Eagles are able to still have this 1-point lead, but need to make sure that you don't get comfortable just because you're playing well in this quarter. You got to keep playing with a lot of pace. Make sure you're still executing.
Jumper for Phelps, hard off the rim. Rebound by Brewer. Second attempt, no. And a foul on Torres. Carissa Aiken will check into the contest for Holland Geisler as Pensacola now leads by 1 point and an impressive second quarter.
There was a foul there on Monse Torres on the rebound, a little bit of over the back and a little hit to the head from the official. So Monse Torres, I believe that's her second foul of the game.
Fortunately, only team foul so far in the quarter. They get it to Doufus. Finds Todd, throws a shot towards the basket, and you can count that one as well.
That gives her 7 points, puts her at the free throw line. Campbellsville takes the lead back by 1 with 1:45 left in the second quarter. Like I talked about a couple minutes ago, you got to be careful. Although you're playing well, you were able to cut that 14-point deficit to a 3-point lead. You can't get comfortable. You got to keep playing aggressive. Make sure that you're fighting, executing down the stretch. Make sure you keep your lead there if you're the Lady Eagles, and now you got to try and fight to get it right back.
Off the hands of Cunningham will give Pensacola 20 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 1:42 on the game clock. Brewer gets it to Torres. Torres guarded by Todd. Phelps finds her sister wide open in the corner. Off the back of the rim, rebounded by Todd.
One thing to note for the Lady Eagles, Jenna Wolford's been on the bench for almost the entire second quarter with 3 fouls. They were able to kind of go on that run there, get that lead back, and keep it to a 1-point game with their second leading scorer on the bench. They can find a way to keep this either to a 2 to 3 point deficit or find a way to have a lead going into halftime, get your second best scorer back on the floor. I think it'll really help the Lady Eagles push this lead and hopefully come out with a win.
Oriana Woods to the charity stripe so far with 6 points on the contest, but went 1 for 8 in the first quarter. Mentor will also check into the contest here for Carissa Aiken as Pensacola trails by 1 point. First attempt up for Woods, no good. Oriana Woods, 0 for 3 from the free throw line today.
Yeah, we talked about her being one of the leading free throw shooters in the country. She makes one there. But like you just said, I believe she's 1 for 5 now on the day. She's been struggling to make free throws, being one of the best shooters in the country. That's a good thing for the Lady Eagles, but she's not going to miss very many of those, so we can't put her on the line too often.
Torres cuts to the basket. Foul in, 1 for Monse Torres. Great back cut to the basket. Instead of taking the dribble handoff, goes straight to the low block and will take another trip to the free throw line.
That's a really smart play there from Mo. She was coming down, trying to get that dribble handoff, saw her defender about to jump it, and then she was able to get that backdoor cut for the easy layup, give her 10 points in the game.
Torres with 10, on pace to possibly beating her career high once again. Give her 11 now.
And with that free throw, the Lady Eagles take the lead back 42-41 with a minute left. Coach Sellers over here telling his girls not to foul, be smart, play good defense, but don't put them on the free throw line and give them a chance to take the lead back before the end of the half.
Dalphus gives it back to Cunningham. Cunningham, hop step, finds a wide open Todd down low, and she converts at the rim. Here's Menser. Drives on Todd towards the basket, and Todd gets the rejection. Woods gets to the basket and finishes over Phelps.
That was a smart defensive play there from Rachel Phelps. Jumped straight up, making sure not to foul, and but that's just a good finish from Oriana Woods.
Pensacola with the opportunity to get the last bucket of the half. Torres works inside towards the backboard and in!
Monse Torres is having a game. She's having herself a half. She's got 13 points here.
And a block on Woods.
Good defense there. 3 seconds left. Lady Eagles would love to get a half court off here.
Brewer
fires it, unable to get it there. But that was a great second quarter from the Lady Eagles. Cut that 14-point deficit down to a 3-point lead. Little tussle there at the end. They're down by 1, 45-44, but playing very, very well there in the second quarter.
Monse Torres and Leah Phelps, the leaders for Pensacola as far as scoring. And also Jaden Dalphus for the Pioneers. More basketball when we come back, but please enjoy these messages provided by Pensacola Christian College.
It's a passion that unites us, the heartbeat of everything we do. Since 1974, we've been building, reaching, expanding our limits. And yet today, one thing hasn't changed. Pensacola Christian College empowers leaders to influence the world for Christ.
Choosing a college is so much more than deciding where you're going to live for the next few years. It's choosing a culture, group of people, and academic standard that will shape you into the person you want to become. It's an exciting time, and when you visit campus, it gets even more exciting. It's your moment to get a feel for the atmosphere and community. Catch a game, sit in on classes, visit chapel, make new friends, and so much more. And now you can experience college life your way with multiple visit options. No matter when you come, you'll find a vibrant community influencing the world for Christ. You won't just blend in, you'll belong. So don't wait. See how you can experience PCC today.
Want to get a head start in college? With Pensacola Christian College's online dual enrollment program, you can do just that. Open to juniors and seniors in Christian schools and Abeka Academy homeschoolers, dual enrollment students can take up to 6 online courses per year, all counting towards PCC college credit requirements. With 3 different options throughout the school year and summer and over 20 courses, choose to lighten your college load and, depending on your major, finish college early. You will be able to fit courses around your schedule, a perfect way to complete many of your general college education courses before you graduate high school and step foot on campus. To learn more about getting a head start on your education today, visit pcci.edu/dual enrollment.
Welcome back with more action here in the Nest, the home of the Pensacola Christian College Eagles. I'm Alvin Chapman alongside me, Braden Motter. Braden, what a second quarter we witnessed. 31 points for the Eagles total.
Yeah, outscored Campbellsville 31-18 there in the second quarter. Very good from them. They were able to get out in transition. We talked about fatigue. You could tell Campbellsville was getting a little tired. But with that halftime break, they're going to be picking it up, playing with pace again, as we just see their good transition defense there in a block. Campbellsville is going to be ready to play in the second half. Heard their coach talking after their halftime, and he said, you know who they are, you know they're coming, let's be ready for them. So I think that's the message from both coaches in the second half.
They go inside to Woods. Great move inside, just misses. Aiken trying to push the pace, and as a steal nearly by Cunningham, back in the hands of Phelps. Phelps kicks it corner to Wolford, who was recently checked back into the contest, and she misses it wide in the corner.
Lady Eagles were 1 for 8 from the three-point line there in the first half, and obviously 1 for 9 now with that Jenna Wolford miss. That's something Lady Eagles don't normally do. Normally we're shooting pretty well from behind the arc. Today we're struggling a little bit. Need those shots to start falling.
They get it to Douthis. 3 on the way, and she breaks open the quarter. Jaden Douthis in double digits, now at 12. Here's Brewer. Brewer on a triple-double tracker and gets fouled on her way to the basket.
Great dribble drive there for Melissa Brewer. I think the play called there may have been a dribble handoff to Leah Phelps in the corner, but Brewer knew she's a little bit faster than her defender, really got downhill, tried to finish through the contact, couldn't quite get the finish, but puts herself at the free throw line for 2.
Alyssa Brewer on a triple-double tracker, as we mentioned earlier. 8 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. Make it now 9, and also give her 3 steals as well.
Yeah, she's having a really good game. Talking with Coach Sellers in that halftime break, he said if she doesn't keep playing the way she is, we're going to struggle, because Alyssa Brewer is definitely one of the key players on this team. She does everything. You're just listing off all those stats there with her points, her rebounds, her steals, her assists. She does everything for this team, and so if she keeps playing the way she is, Lady Eagles probably will find themselves with a win.
Cunningham rebounds her own miss and fades away for a 2-point jumper. Give her now 8. Wolford hits Phelps, and she loses possession. Woods in transition. Woods attacks on Wolford and gets to the basket. Oriana Woods with 11.
You could see there Jenna Wolford was playing a little bit passive defensively. She's got 3 fouls, got to play smart, knowing that if she gets that 4th, she's going to have to sit down at least until the 4th quarter. Unfortunately, she's in a bad position there with the best scorer in the nation coming right at her.
Brewer inside, goes to Aiken. Jumper on the way, hard off the rim. Wolford rebound. Loses possession, now back in the hands of Aiken. Phelps, corner 3 try. That's money.
Great
Leah
shot
Phelps
there from Leah Phelps. Give her 15 on the night. Good kick out there from Carissa Aiken.
She leads all scorers with Monse Torres not too far behind her. Timeout on the floor for Pensacola. We will step aside. With more action of the second half here in the Nest, Pensacola versus Campbellsville University-Harrodsburg. Pensacola now trailing by 3. Bree Anthony swing it back to Douthis. Anthony. And I believe that is a 3-second violation. Actually, an illegal screen called on number 11, Talea Todd.
Yeah, a little action there Campbellsville was trying to get into to set a screen on that bottom person, open up their shooter for the corner. But good defense there from Monte Torres, fighting around that screen, forces the illegal screen, and able to give Lady Eagles a possession down 3 with 7 minutes left.
Alyssa Brewer finds Phelps and give that her 8th assist of the game and 17th point for Leah Phelps. Corner to Gonzalez. 3 on the way, no good. Woods corrals it. Quickly double teamed by Aiken, as well as Phelps, and a timeout called by head coach for the Pioneers, Coach Bryan.
That was great defense there from the Lady Eagles. Oriana grabbed that offensive rebound, and Carissa Aiken and Monte Torres really pinned her down on the baseline where she had nowhere to go. Coach was forced to call a timeout.
Pensacola trailing by 1. We will step aside briefly. Welcome back to the nest. Oriana Woods for the inbound for the Pioneers. Dousis will step into a triple. Wedges between the rim, somehow rebounded by Woods, now controlled by Torres. Torres with options, but she'll go straight to the basket, and good for Monte Torres.
That was a really smart take there for Monte Torres. She had Jenna Wolford and Leah Phelps running with her. Campbellsville knows those are our 2 best scorers, so they did their best to take those 2 away. Monte Torres makes a smart decision, goes all the way downhill, gets her easy transition layup.
If we're being honest here, Monte Torres is turning herself into one of our best scorers as well, averaging 17 points a game in the past 2 contests, and so far 15 points in this one. Woods double team. Shot at the basket, no good, but fouled.
You can hear Coach Sellers over here screaming at his girls, telling to make sure they go straight up. Don't reach down, but don't put your hands inside. Oriana Woods is a graduate student. She's been playing college ball for 5 years now. She's a very smart player. So as soon as she feels your arms get in there trying to get a steal, she's going to go up, get that foul call, and put herself at the free throw line.
Rachel Phelps will come into the ball game, as well as Kamaya Johnson, 2 seniors for both prospective teams, as well as Bianca Cunningham. Second attempt out the rim for Oriana Woods. Brewer drives to the basket, loses possession, yet regains it. I believe that makes that now another rebound for Brewer and almost a 9th assist, but Torres misses.
Once again, we've talked about pace and fatigue so many times. Campbellsville in that first quarter obviously put a good run there against the Lady Eagles, but they were getting out in transition, playing very, very quickly, and the Lady Eagles were able to retain that and continue playing in that pace, and Campbellsville is struggling to keep up for the remaining 3 quarters.
Torres picks up her dribble, now in the hands of Aiken, and that's nearly snatched away by Todd. Phelps will come into the ball game here for Carissa Aiken. Pensacola now going with a smaller lineup of guards.
Yeah, we're just talking about pace and fatigue. Coach Sellers puts one of his fastest players, Rachel Phelps, in the game. Probably trying to get up and down a lot faster, tire out Campbellsville, see if he can't run him off the floor.
Backdoor, Torres to the basket! Just misses the layup. Wolford rebounds the miss. Phelps to the basket. Slow pace, no basket. Believe that was on the floor in favor of Phelps.
That was a good dribble drive there. A lot of contact from start to finish. Leah Phelps got to the finish and was able to make it, but obviously foul call was on the floor. That's a great take from Leah Phelps. She usually shies away from contact a little bit, but tonight she's going through contact, going very strong to the basket.
We'll set up Brewer for the inbound. Phelps will drive inside. Torres finds Phelps, Rachel. Wolford for a 3, no good. Wolford struggling shooting in the first half, 1 of 7 from the field. Hasn't made it 3 so far. after her early exit in the first.
Yeah, she's 0 for 4 from behind the arc like we talked about earlier. That's not normal for the Lady Eagles, especially for Jenna Wolford being one of the top 10 three-point shooters in the country. She normally knocks those shots down. She's struggling tonight a little bit to find it, but there's almost 5 minutes left here in the third quarter and a full fourth quarter. There's still a lot of basketball to be played.
Burleson comes to the table. Douthis, jumper on the way, good.
That was a great step-back shot there by Douthit. Good defense by Alyssa Brewer. Was able to keep a hand up. Just enough space created from that step-back that she could go through that.
Beautiful job there by Brewer, going straight into her defender, taking a lot of contact. She will take another trip to the charity stripe.
Good coast-to-coast dribble drive there from Alyssa Brewer. Grabbed that outlet pass and just took off down the floor. Wasn't afraid of contact. Went all the way downhill. Unable to get that finish, but Brewer is one of the best free throw shooters. She's actually on the top 10 all-time free throw percentage list here at Pensacola for the Lady Eagles. So putting her at the line is definitely a good thing because she's going to knock her shots down.
That's her third trip of the night. Torres will come out of the ballgame here for Burleson. Second attempt good for Alyssa Brewer. Give her now 10. Woods will control it. Pensacola sitting back in a 2-3 zone. They go inside to Johnson, saved by Wolford. Baseball path intended to Phelps, now in the hands of Woods. Woods drives, kicks to Johnson for a short jumper. And that's good for Kamaya Johnson.
Good smart play there from Oriana Woods. Didn't have the look she wanted, found a kick out to her teammate, and she was able to knock the shot down.
All the way to the basket for Rachel Phelps, and she scores.
Good dribble drive there from Rachel. With her offhand, left-hand drive, left-hand finish. Love seeing that, especially from a freshman. Hopefully she can continue to develop that offhand work.
Douses to the basket with a little bit of English as well. Foul and one for the junior.
That was a great take from Douthis. We talked about earlier with that hang time finish she had right to left hand, and right there goes through contact, switches to her left hand, and like you said, put a little English on it, put a little spin to it, and got that to fall.
Second chance opportunity for Douthis, and a terrible job rebounding by Pensacola. That right-to-hand finish actually by Bianca Johnson. Now here's Pensacola with the possession. Gets by her defender, was held by Johnson momentarily, but the Pioneers will take possession.
Lady Eagles struggling offensively here in the third quarter a little bit. Had a little bit of struggles there in the first as well. Obviously, we saw how that second quarter turned out with the Lady Eagles. Get a steal there defensively. We're getting done what we need to get done, but to offensively need to put the ball in the hole a little bit more consistently.
Corner try for Phelps, no good. Bianca Johnson will take care of it. She'll go by herself, attacks Burleson, no good. Douthis with another second chance opportunity for points. Woods steams through the middle of the paint, no good. Bianca Johnson with the attempt to keep it alive. It'll be going northbound with Pensacola.
Lady Eagles are struggling to rebound right now. I think that's 6 offensive rebounds that they've given up in just the last 2 possessions. Given up too many opportunities and giving Campbellsville more chances to score. And the more chances you get, the more shots you're going to knock down. And obviously Campbellsville will then begin to push that lead even further than the 7-point lead they already have right now.
Quinn Arnold and Haley Hood making her first appearance in this game and also in this half. Phelps finds her sister in the corner. Over to Brewer. Brewer, guard by Hood. Phelps, opposite corner try, no good. Burleson, the rebound. Burleson sets the screen and travels before putting the ball on the floor. Live ball turnover in favor of the Pioneers.
It's a good idea there from Addie Burleson. She was going to try and head fake and then get going downhill. But on that jump stop attempt, feet instead of landing at the same time went 1-2. Obviously gets that travel call, headed Campbellsville's direction.
Hood for the inbound. Torres back to the table as well. Douse is bringing the ball up the floor, as well as Mentor coming to the table. Also Holland Geisler coming to the table. Seems like Coach Sellers is going with a rebounding lineup in the next couple of moments. Williams, corner try. off the front of the rim. Great rebound and box out by Wolford.
Yeah, we talked about earlier in the broadcast, Lady Eagles are grabbing that defensive rebound, and then they're getting either double or triple teamed under their own basket where they have little room to work with. So Lady Eagles need to, I use the terminology, either throw or go. You either got to get that ball, throw it out ahead of you, you got to grab that rebound and take off downhill. You can't grab that rebound and then look around and look for what to do. You got to do something as soon as you grab it. Luckily, the Lady Eagles keep possession, though.
Brewer, Phelps, and Burleson check out the contest. Rachel Phelps kicks it over to Menser. Three-point try coming off the bench. And good for Menser.
That's the hardest job of a bench player, like you just said, straight off the bench is you're cold, you haven't played in a few minutes, your legs are tired, your arms aren't quite with you. Coming off the bench, you got to be hot and ready to go, and Kristen Menser right there comes straight off the bench, knocks down the first shot she takes.
Cunningham will come to the table as well, and now check into the contest for Haley Hood. Now just under a minute, 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. It's been an entertaining one so far, Braden, but Pensacola indeed trails by 4 points.
Yeah, a minute and a half left here in the third quarter. Both teams are playing very well. Luckily, the second quarter obviously did a good favor for the Lady Eagles to pull them back into this game. Hopefully we can find that same rhythm late here in the third quarter, maybe even in the fourth quarter.
Great ball fake there by Rachel Phelps. Hands it over to Menser. In the corner for Geisler. Big three for her off the bench. Two back-to-back threes off the bench from Pensacola.
That's a great shot from Holland Geisler. Even had a defender on her, but she played smart. She's got a high release, and that was a great shot from Holland.
Woods attacks the basket. And Torres gets called for the foul. A little confused on that one because she was completely stood still.
Yeah, she went to take a charge attempt there, and Oriana did a little Euro step around her, which is perfectly fine. But defensive player has a right to stay in their vertical space. You can stand still, and if the defender goes through you, then that's obviously an offensive foul, if anything. But I would personally, if it was me as an official right there, I'd give that a no call because she tried to Euro around her, and just a little bit of contact. Neither player really initiated it, and it wasn't enough to alter the shot. But obviously, refs saw it a little bit differently than we did, but can't get too mad at it there. Oriana Woods misses the first free throw.
Makes her first free throw of the contest. Now Oriana Woods, who averages 29 points per contest, has 14. Gives the Pioneers also a 2-point lead.
Get out of there, Mo! Get out of there, Mo!
Here's Phelps, makes a move on her defender. Geisler drives on her defender, kicks it to Torres. Torres works on Todd, misses the rim. Cunningham finds Wood in transition, and that's a block in favor of Wolford. A risky charge here, also with 3 fouls going into the fourth quarter, but she gambles and wins.
Yeah, oftentimes you have to be very careful. Obviously, we talked about earlier with her having 3 fouls. You got to be careful not to get the fourth. But Jenna's a very good charge taker, and she knows when she's set, and she knows when she's going to get the call. And knowing the best scorer in the country, Oriana Woods, coming downhill right at her, she got in the spot she needed to be and took a charge.
Torres to the basket. Nearly got the bucket, but we'll get the foul instead.
Lady Eagles are killing Campbellsville on the backdoor cut. It's very clear that coaches trying to tell them to not get burned on it, but it's hard to take that aggressiveness out of your players, and Campbellsville's playing very aggressive on those dribble handoffs. They're making sure that they don't allow something difficult to become something simple as a dribble handoff or a pass. They're making sure to try and shut down those lanes. Lady Eagles are taking really good advantage getting backdoor cuts and layups.
Montse Torres truly blossoming so far in this portion of the semester. The second leading scorer here for Pensacola. And a 22-point performance against Trinity Baptist. Perfect at the line today. Went 10 of 11 against Trinity Baptist and a victory.
Lady Eagles tie at 65-65 with 23 seconds left. Coach Sellers pulls out Jenna Wolford and Montse Torres, 2 of the better players, but both of them are in a little bit of foul trouble, so being smart here, not letting them get their 4th foul in a last possession of the quarter.
Cunningham gets quickly to the perimeter. Williams sitting in the corner. No good. Mentor the strong rebound over Oriana Woods, who is averaging 11 rebounds a game. Phelps, 3 seconds remaining. Bucket no good.
That's a good take there from Rachel Phelps. Good outlet find from Kristen Menser. We would love to see Rachel Phelps knock down that layup with a second and a half left on the clock. Doesn't fall for him, but Lady Eagles fight back, get it tied 65-65. I told you before the game out, both these teams offensively are really good, and I thought we'd be in for a couple 80-point games, and I think that's what we're looking at.
The number 2 and the number 5 clash here tonight. The Pioneers so far undefeated against ranked opponents. Will that continue? You'll figure out next as the fourth quarter approaches. Ten more minutes of regulation basketball here in the Nest. 65 apiece between Pensacola Christian and Campbellsville University-Harrodsburg. This game began to be close because of a second quarter push by Pensacola, but it was a battle in the third. Cunningham floater, no good. Rebounds her own miss again. Tries to work on Aiken, but she does a great job standing firm. Cunningham wide open, way short. Woods with a pushing foul in the back, no call, but Pensacola will gain possession.
Lady Eagles played good defense there, almost gave up something simple at the end there with a wide open three. Fortunately, the shot came off the hand of Cunningham a little bit awkwardly, so the shot didn't fall. 65-65 is still our score. This game is almost tied in every facet. We got both teams with 17 turnovers apiece, both teams with, I believe, 36 rebounds apiece, and Alyssa Brewer gets downhill there for 14 points on the game.
A small lead here for Pensacola. They go inside to Cunningham. Alters her shot again, no good. Woods the rebound. Gets the whistle, but not the bucket. I mentioned earlier that Oriana Woods was doing kind of poor at the free throw line. She's actually 4 for 7 tonight with another trip awaiting her. Cunningham now coming to the game for number 5, Bree Anthony. Here is Woods. 15 points through 3 quarters, 16 on the night, along with 10 rebounds. In her last contest against Miami University in Ohio, she posted 41 points as she misses the second.
Lady Eagles really seem to be struggling on the rebounding side of the game tonight, giving up a lot of offensive rebounds. Luckily, it didn't hurt us that time. Oriana Woods missed a shot, but like we're talking about, another offensive rebound given up gives the Lady Pioneers another chance to score.
Todd, floater, no good. Aiken brings it down in the hands of Menser. Pensacola now with numbers. Geisler goes to Rachel Phelps, stops on a dime, goes straight to the basket, no good. Brewer, another rebound.
Good fight there for the offensive rebound. Alyssa Brewer, Holland Geiser, and Rachel Phelps are all in there battling, trying to grab that offensive rebound. You'd love to see that first shot go for Rachel Phelps. It wasn't able to knock it down. Good rebound from Brewer, finds Holland, and Holland puts herself at the free throw line for 2.
Alyssa Brewer now with 12 points, 8 rebounds, as well as 8 assists. Now Geisler knocks down the free throw for Pensacola. Second attempt up for Geisler, and good.
Good game from Holland off the bench, coming off getting some good quality minutes, making smart decisions, scoring 9 points. She's playing very well right now, grabbing some rebounds, defensively communicating. Really good bench production from Holland Geisler tonight.
Not just Holland Geisler, but also Kristen Menser. Because of their production off the bench, it gives players like Monte Torres as well as Jenna Wolford a little bit of rest as Oriana Woods goes straight to the basket. 3 points so far in this quarter. 18 on the game. Menser goes straight to the cup. Alters her shot, and good for Menser.
That's a great drive by Kristen Menser. I was just talking about Holland off the bench. You chimed in, talk about Kristen off the bench. They're both playing really well right now. Kristen saw a little gap, drove really hard, got to her finish. Maybe a little bit of contact there, didn't get the call, but way to finish through the contact.
Cunningham goes to Woods, founds the hands of Todd. Gonzalez. Gonzalez playing 9 minutes total in this game. Woods will step back for a jumper, falling out the rim rather. She gets the steal. Gonzalez will go to the line. A very physical possession between both teams. Surprised the whistle wasn't coming in earlier.
Yeah, Lady Eagles, like we talked about just last possession, struggling on the rebounding side of the ball, giving up a lot of offensive rebound to Campbellsville. Coach Sellers puts Montse Torres back in the game, who's obviously one of the leading rebounders for the Lady Eagles. Hopefully she can get in there, battle, fight, grab a couple more rebounds.
Wolford will come into the game for Kristen Menser. What a performance she's had off the bench. Gonzalez, first free throw, falls in. Her first trip to the line today. Second free throw for this trip and the game, no good. Wolford comes down with the rebound, finds Torres. Torres, quadruple teamed, finds Wolford. Phelps does a great job resetting the offense.
That's a good job there from the Lady Eagles to get out of that. You said it, quadruple team there, but got out, and good patience from the freshman Rachel Phelps to not try and attack a poor position, but she was smart, found the kick out, and tried to get a good offensive possession going here for the Lady Eagles.
Shuffle pass nearly gave Brewer her 9th assist of the game. But here's Cunningham finding Gonzalez. Douthis drives. Jumper gets the shooter's roll to tie things up here in the fourth.
Douthis is playing really well right now. She's got 20 points. She's getting to her spots, knocking down her shots. She's playing a very, very good game tonight.
Brewer doing a great job just attacking the paint and getting the whistle every single time.
Yeah, she's going downhill with aggression tonight. She's not worried about contact. She's not worried about getting hurt. She's going downhill fast and hard, and she's trying to finish through contact. She's got a couple and ones on the night. Wasn't able to knock that one down, but she does get to the free throw line, and we talked about earlier, one of the all-time leaders in free throw percentage. Hopefully she can knock down both and push the Lady Eagles to a 2-point lead.
Brewer looking to break the tie at the free throw line. First one off the mark. Her first miss from the charity stripe tonight. Second attempt up for Brewer and finds the rim. Gives Pensacola a 1-point advantage. Here's Cunningham.
Lady Eagles applying a little bit of pressure here. Nothing crazy, not trying to trap or turn anybody over. Maybe just slow Campbellsville down a little bit, make them think about the simple things.
Southist corner, no good. Cecil the rebound. Gets it to Cunningham. Cunningham guarded by the freshman. Woods, 3-point attempt. It's good!
That's her first three-pointer of the night. That's tough for the Lady Eagles. You played a good defensive possession there. Left the shooter wide open there. Unfortunately, she was able to knock it down.
Wolford for the response. No good. In the hands now of Cecil. Dowsis controls it. Woods from the perimeter again. No good. And that is the 10th rebound for Brewer. And also the 9th assist for Brewer.
Alyssa Brewer is 1 assist away from a triple-double. That'll be the first time that happened since Lauren Alvarez in, I believe, the 2020 season. That would be a huge accomplishment for Alyssa Brewer. She's playing super well right now in every aspect of the game. Defensively, we talked about her steals, obviously rebound scoring and passing. She's playing a great, great game tonight.
You are correct about that. January 24th against Trinity College. And a beautiful block there by Brewer.
Just talked about defensively. She's doing everything. She's doing everything defensively, blocks and steals, playing very well. Rachel finds her sister, Leah, tries to go through a little bit of contact. Ref calls all ball. Phelps, no argument there. I think she knows it. Love to see Leah get to a better finish there, but tied it up 74-74 in the last possession. It's going to be a good last 5 minutes, Al.
The last triple-double was against Trinity College of Florida in a blowout win. Johnson, opposite corner. She's perfect from that spot tonight. Kamaya Johnson, the freshman wearing number 10, now with 6 crucial points to give a little bit of separation for the Pioneers. Phelps with the rock, drives hard, a lot of contact, and gets the whistle granted.
That's a good dribble drive by Leah Phelps. She's going through contact. We talked about earlier. Phelps is not always one to hunt contact out, but today she's not worried about it. Apparently that foul call is on the floor, not a shooting foul, so Lady Eagles will have a baseline out of bounds.
That is Cunningham's third. She'll come out the contest here for Williams. Gonzalez also comes in for Woods. Brewer goes to Torres. Torres drives inside and finds Phelps. Phelps drives hard inside. Foul and one for Leah Phelps. The senior out of Flower Mound, Texas. Takes the contact, goes straight to the bucket. And now the free throw can give the lead. Give her 21 points.
Leah Phelps, like we just talked about, is playing so aggressive tonight. She's not shying away from contact. She's not shying away from these physical Campbellsville defenders, and she's doing very, very well right now.
She actually has 20 points. The free throw would have gave her 21. 3-point opportunity short for Pensacola, but the possession will stay here as Woods checks into the game after the quick substitution that she just had recently in the last possession.
Yeah, she was on the bench for about 30, 40 seconds. I think Coach was just putting her down, letting her get a sip of water, knowing she's their best player. I think he's trying to keep her with fresh legs and a good drink with 4:30 left here in the fourth quarter.
Brewer gets it into Phelps, snatched away by Johnson. Off to the races, picks up her dribble, and finds Woods. Woods will go straight to the basket, a lot of contact. And that's an offensive foul, a risky one by Jenna Wolford.
We've talked about Jenna Wolford so many times being one of the best charge takers, and obviously her, I believe she has 3 fouls, being a little nervous to get that 4th one. But we talked about a moment ago, she's smart. She knows when she's got the charge. She knows when she's got good positioning, and that's what she's got right there.
Risky aggressiveness. Simple as that by Jenna Wolford. Not filling up the scoring column, but doing everything else.
Yep, she is struggling to shoot the ball tonight, but she's doing all the other things. She's passing, she's rebounding, and obviously she's defending.
Brewer to the basket. A lot of contact and good. Alyssa Brewer. 1 assist away from a triple-double for her, and a 2-point advantage for Pensacola. Woods picks up her dribble, guarded by the freshman Rachel Phelps. Here's Williams on the top of the key.
Alvin, it's not very often me and you are watching a game on the edge of our seat. Normally we're a little laid back, having a good time, just having conversation, but this game is so intense right now. We're both leaning in. We're really excited to watch these last 3 minutes.
Phelps gets the ball by herself in transition and finishes it well. Leah Phelps with the quiet first quarter, but now has 22 points to answer for it. And that is a foul on Jenna Wolford. That's her 4th.
Yeah, we talked about her playing really smart defensively, knowing where her spots were, getting those charge takes. Maybe a little bit of a dumb play there from her, going for a steal at a bad angle, knowing that that now gives her 4 and she's in a little bit of a risky situation. But we've talked about her being a really smart player. I think she's going to know when that 5th one is coming, and she's going to be smart and avoid it.
3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining of the best basketball game I've probably ever seen with my own eyes from the Lady Eagles. Douses. Finds Cunningham. Woods. Loses it in the hands of Phelps. With great position. A lot of contact. Torres is there. Snatched out by Cunningham.
3-on-1 on the backside. They find Woods. Brewer tries to go straight up. Gets a little bit of a foul there. Woods headed to the free throw line. Down by 4 with 2:45 left. That was a good transition look there from Campbellsville. Lady Eagles put all they had in that offensive push. Weren't able to knock the shot down, and in a little bit of a disadvantage on the backside.
Woods with 21 so far. Averages 29 points per contest. And another big performance from her. She's not having 41, but she's practically the main option for this Pioneers offense.
Yeah, she's playing really well right now. She's scoring the ball. She's obviously right there knocking down her free throws. But the Lady Eagles have held her pretty well, as good as they could. But They've played very well tonight, both defensively and offensively. The Lady Eagles, I think, have played one of their, like you just said, one of the better games they've played in quite a while. It's a very fun game to watch.
Pensacola leading now by 80. By 2. My apologies there. Thank you for the quick correction there with silence, Braden.
Say, wow, this game's almost over. We're up by 80. I love it. No, it's gonna be a fun last 2.5 minutes. I'm excited. Lady Eagles need to play smart here. We've talked about Alyssa Brewer and Leah Phelps getting downhill, going through contact. Looks like they're running a little isolation for Brewer here, trying to get her downhill again.
7 remaining on the shot clock. A near steal, and Todd regains it. Dumps it off to Cunningham. Altering layup. I believe that was swatted away by Phelps. Cunningham, spin move, and an offensive foul! A risky one to take, but indeed she does!
What a great charge take from Jenna Wolford. She's had 3 fouls in the quarters, number 3 and 4. Now she's got her 4th just a moment ago, and she's taken 4 charges in that time. Jenna Wolford is one of the best charge takers I've ever seen, not only because she's a smart player, but she's a fantastic person at placing herself in the spot she needs to be. Campbellsville coach just received a technical from the officials. I think he was barking about that charge take from Jenna Wolford. He was really fired up, lipping off to the ref. And that ref does not want to hear that from him right now.
The semester hasn't even started, and the energy in the R&R Sports Center is electric.
Yeah, it's a very fun atmosphere right now. Minute 55 left. Alyssa Brewer at the free throw line, up 2. She needs to slow herself down, take some breaths, knock her free throws down. And with the technical, the Lady Eagles will then, not only because we already had possession, but we will take possession. So Lady Eagles get a chance to go on either a 4 or 5-0 run here and really push that lead.
First free throw good for Brewer. What a night she's had. And another one for Brewer. Still 1 assist away from a triple-double.
Very clutch free throws there from Alyssa Brewer. We talked about she had to slow herself down, just breathe and knock her shots down. And that's Junior showing her abilities right there to slow herself down, knock her shots down. Eagles were able to push their lead to 4. Now with the offensive possession, they have a chance to push it even further.
Brewer goes to Rachel Phelps. 5 remaining on the shot clock. Wolford will unload. No good. Kamaya Johnson now controls it and drags her pivot foot nearly a travel.
That would have been a fantastic time for Jenna Wolford to knock down her first 3. She wasn't able to make it, but that's okay. Lady Eagles have to find a good defensive possession here.
Johnson, other side of the rim, and good for the freshman. Kamaya Johnson.
Very good 8 points and a very quiet 8 points from Kamaya Johnson. She's played very well, but her points have been a little dispersed, but they've obviously come at big moments like that one. 82-80 is our score with a minute left. Leah Phelps with the backdoor cut coming from Alyssa Brewer, wasn't able to knock it down. If she could have made that, that would have given her 26 points on the night and Alyssa Brewer a triple-double.
Here is Cunningham. And a timeout taken by head coach Bryan for the Pioneers. We're going to stay here for this one. What do you think Coach Bryan is drawing up for his offensive team?
Well, we know, we just talked about Kamaya Johnson is getting to her spots and finishes. He's got her as an option, but the 2 options I would look to is either Jaden Douthit, who's I believe got 20 points on the night, or Oriana Woods, who's got 22. Both playing very, very well. They both can knock their shots down if they get to their spot. So I think what Coach is going to do is draw up a play where he gives Oriana a little bit of an isolation chance, but he's got Douthit maybe sitting in a corner somewhere ready to receive a kick out, knock down a shot.
A 3 would lead, a 2 would tie. Braden, Oriana Woods with a great night on an explosive offensive night as she had in games past. What do you think Pensacola's coach, Jared Sellers, is telling his team to do defensively?
Well, my guess is he's probably telling them something similar to what I just said. They know where they're going to go. They're going to look to either Woods or Douthit probably for their looks, and he's telling them to key in. And probably another big preaching moment is do not foul. Don't give them an opportunity to put points on the board with the clock stopped, because if you do that, then you open the door for them to come in and take that win. Lady Eagles need to play sound defensively here and communicate.
They go inside to Woods. Woods to the basket, good, and ties it.
There's that isolation for Woods in the high post. She was able to get downhill, finish with her offhand, tied at 82-82.
Brewer brings it across half court, and a timeout is called. 22 on the shot clock, 36 on the game clock, a tie ball game. You said this game was going to be in the 80s, and indeed it is.
It's a very fun game to watch. I was maybe expecting even higher, almost 90s when we started the fourth quarter, 65-65. Both teams, though, have really clamped down defensively and really isolated what they want to do.
Monse Torres has been great offensively. Alyssa Brewer has been great offensively. Leah Phelps has been great offensively. Who do you go to for this bucket to possibly secure the lead and possibly the win?
Well, even though she had a struggling first quarter, it's very hard to go away from your best scorer. Knowing Leah Phelps is your best player, it's very difficult to go away from her. So my guess is they're going to put Leah and Brewer potentially in a little pick and roll situation or a little two-on-two play, try and get either Leah going downhill or Brewer going downhill, being perfectly fine with a foul, getting to the free throw line. 36 seconds is a lot of time. Even if the Lady Eagles score, the Campbellsville Pioneers will definitely have an opportunity to score themselves.
Torres flashes and gets the possession. Quickly double team finds Wolford, guarded by Cunningham. Wolford picks up her dribble and drops it off to Brewer. 13 remaining on the shot clock, guarded by the best defensive and possibly offensive player for the Pioneers, Woods. They go inside to Torres. Torres works and dips it off over to Wolford, and she'll head to the charity stripe to possibly get the lead.
That turned into, unfortunately, what we call a junk play. A little bit of tripping there from Alyssa Brewer. She was trying to get downhill. I think a handoff to Wolford to then get it back to Leah Phelps. A little bit of trippage there. Wasn't able to get what we wanted. With 4 seconds left, kicked it into Monse Torres and found a cutting Jenna Wolford. Wolford's one of the better free throw shooters on this team. Besides maybe Alyssa Brewer, I don't know who else you want on the free throw line at this moment.
Great to see our men's basketball team opposite the game being very good participants in this matchup as Wolford misses the first.
Yeah, the negative of missing the first, even if she makes the second, is now no matter how Campbellsville scores, if they do, it's obviously going to put them in the lead.
Misses the second, Wood the rebound, and timeout for Coach Bryant.
That's very unfortunate for the Lady Eagles. Junior Jenna Wolford, we've talked about being one of the best shooters in the country from both the free throw line and the three-point line. We hate to see her miss those free throws, but tied. Coach Tribble of Campbellsville just called a timeout, 82-82. I think he's about to draw something up, and Lady Eagles are going to have to play a really sound defensive possession.
We mentioned already Campbellsville so far undefeated against ranked opponents played this year. What are they going to have to do to continue that streak?
Well, we talked about it. I'd run about the same play they ran just a couple minutes ago. They got Oriana Woods in an isolation getting downhill. Because she leads the nation in free throws made and free throw percentage, I think getting her the ball and letting her get downhill is going to be their best option. You either let her get to her finish, right or left side, and if she goes through contact, gets an and one, that's great. Even if she misses, you put the best free throw shooter in the country on the line. I think that's Coach Tribble's move.
46 seconds remaining. If actually not 46, 14 seconds remaining. An eighth of a second also on the clock as well. If you're Pensacola, do you get the rebound off the first try and possibly try to throw up a half-court heave, or do you just wait for overtime?
Well, because I believe Coach Sellers has one timeout left. In college basketball, in the girls' side of things, if you call a timeout on your half, you have the option to advance the ball to your own half. So if the Lady Eagles are able to get a stop and grab that rebound, I know Coach Sellers is going to call that timeout, advance the ball, and give themselves a chance to win.
The ball is advanced as well for the Pioneers. Alvin Chapman and Braden Motter with the call. Here is Cunningham, and she will hold possession here. 10 on the shot clock for Cunningham, the graduate student. 8 now on the game clock. They get it over to Todd. 2 remaining. Cunningham will launch one. No good. Just misses it off the backboard.
I think it was a little bit of miscommunication there from Campbellsville. I don't think they realized there was only 14 seconds left. I think they maybe thought they had a couple more seconds than they did. Just hanging around, out around the volleyball line, 35, 40 feet from the basket, just passing the ball around. Team looked a little confused. Coach had to scream at him. Someone had to chuck up a shot. Almost banked it in, but Al, we're headed to overtime, 82-82.
Extra time in the nest. So far, the Pioneers has won their only overtime game this year against Simmons, Kentucky, actually. And they won it by 1, 82-81. More basketball awaiting when we come back. We are back in the first overtime period of the season and the first home game for the Eagles thus far between the number 5, Campbellsville University, Alvin Chapman, alongside with Braden Motter. Braden, we said we were going to have a ball game in front of us, and indeed we do.
We definitely do. The number 2 team in the nation, the number 5 team in the nation. It's going to be a fun last 5 minutes.
Oriana with 5 fouls as well, rather than 4 fouls, and they get it to Cunningham. One more to Woods. She misses the layup.
Good defense there from Alyssa Brewer. A little slow on that help, but she did end up getting there, got that block on Oriana Woods.
Great drive to the basket for Brewer, no good. Turnaround layup for Phelps, and she converts. Give her 25. Cunningham finds Woods. Woods drives, alters her shot, no good. Rebounds her own miss. Another opportunity and good for Oriana Woods. She has 27. She leads all scorers, but she indeed has 4 fouls.
If I was Coach Sellers here, knowing Oriana Woods has 4 fouls and knowing she's guarding Leah Phelps, I'm giving Leah the ball, telling her to get downhill. Little switch there on the down screen from Monse Torres. But if you have that opportunity, go right at her, try and draw that 5th foul.
Fading jumper for Torres. She has 19.
Great finish there for Monse Torres. A little surprising. Quick spin there. Wasn't ready for that shot. Even I wasn't ready for that shot. But love seeing it fall. Eagles now up by 2.
Todd drives on Torres, and she picks up a foul. That is her 4th.
Yeah, not a bad rotation there. Help almost got there, just got there a second too late. But Monse Torres thought she went straight up, but she definitely came down on her a little bit. Try to be smarter there, knowing that you're in overtime with just a few minutes left. Now you put yourself in a situation where you have 4 fouls. It's a really difficult spot with Monse Torres and Jenna Wolford having 4 fouls. Another thing, Lady Eagles have to rebound here. They've given up, I think, 4 offensive rebounds off free throws just tonight. Really got to box out and grab that board.
Indeed, she misses the second. Here is Phelps. Phelps stepped through and finds her sister. Brewer. Brewer drives inside. Short jumper for Wolford, no good. Woods the rebound. The lead approaching. Todd, layup, no good. Rejection by Todd. Rather by Torres.
Great transition.
In the possession.
Good transition defense there for Monse Torres. Maybe a little bit of a risky situation there, going for the block from behind. Not really the smartest play where you could potentially grab your 5th foul, but she was able to get away with it.
They get it to Wolford to advance it. 3 minutes remaining in the overtime period. Handoff to Phelps. Off the foot of Cunningham, it will remain here.
That's good defense from Campbellsville, knowing that that screen is coming and Leah Phelps is going to try and get downhill. Good job from 24 from Campbellsville, Douthit, to step up, play that good defense.
They get it to Phelps, and she picks up her dribble in the corner. Risky business. There goes Torres, open, misses it. Rebounds her own miss, goes up strong, and picks up the foul.
Love to have seen either of those shots go down for Monse Torres, whether the first one or the second on that and one. But Monse Torres, we talked about, she went 10 of 11 from the free throw line against Trinity Baptist. Another good free throw shooting night for her here. Hopefully she can get to the line, make both, push it to a 3-point lead for the Lady Eagles.
Torres with her 9th rebound here tonight. First free throw falls in there.
That makes her 6 of 6 on the night. Hopefully she can go 7 for 7 here, push the Lady Eagles lead to 3. And again, the Lady Eagles need to play smart here. Make sure you don't foul and give them a chance to score with the clock stopped, because that's always a big issue.
Johnson, slow to get up the floor. Here's Dowdith for a jumper. Off the front of the rim, no good. The Pioneers yet with the free throw in the overtime period. Torres finds Brewer. Brewer drives to the basket. Johnson with the rejection.
It did look like a lot of ball there, but it also looked like quite a bit of body. Alyssa Brewer kind of got slammed to the floor there a little bit, but nothing wrong with that. Lady Eagles keep possession up 2 with 2:30 left. Coach Sellers calls a timeout to draw something up and hopefully get a bucket, push it to a 2-possession lead.
We'll step aside for the timeout. 2:30 remaining in the overtime period. Alvin Chapman alongside with Braden Monder. Braden, I don't know how many times I want to say this, but what a game we're able to witness.
Yeah, this is a really exciting game. I talked about in the fourth quarter, I was thinking this game would maybe get into the 90s because of how the third quarter ended. We didn't think it was going to happen in the fourth quarter, but now that we're pushed into overtime, we were probably going to bump into the 90s here.
Fading jumper for Phelps, no good. Rebound by Gonzalez. Pensacola with a 2-point advantage.
Yeah, would have loved to have seen that shot fall down, maybe push that lead to double digits. But again, Lady Eagles need to stay disciplined here. Don't foul a shooter and put them at the free throw line. Just keep rebounding, keep fighting, and hopefully extend that lead.
Here is Cunningham on the top of the key. Gets it over to Johnson. She drives and dribbles the ball off her foot. Cunningham finds Dowdith to get the lead, and she does! Big time three by Dowdith.
Great shot, gives her 23 on the night. That is a very clutch shot, puts them up by 1. Lady Eagles don't need to stress, though. There's still a minute 40 left. Play smart. You don't need a 3 specifically or a 2. You just need to play smart and get downhill. Leah Phelps gets downhill, goes through contact, knocks down the and 1. Great finish, puts her at the free throw line, gets to push this Lady Eagles lead back up to 2.
We were talking about earlier who we want the ball in the hands of towards the conclusion of the fourth quarter. But now we're in the overtime period, and every bucket counts, and we want the ball in the hands of Leah Phelps going right, attacking her defender.
We've talked about Oriana Woods and Leah Phelps being 2 of the best scorers in the country. I think number 1 in the scoring column and number 3 in the scoring column.
And they both have 27 tonight.
And they both have 27. 28. Leah's now got 28. But like we talked about, both of these coaches are obviously leaning on their best players to make plays. That's what Coach Sellers is doing with Leah, and that's what Coach Tribble is doing with Oriana. We're in for a fun last minute and 30 seconds.
They get it inside to Arnold, bobbles it, tries to get it, the shuffle pass to Woods. She clears out to avoid the 3-second call. They go to Cunningham, 1 more to Arnold. She's by herself and ties it.
That was a good offensive possession from Campbellsville, moving the ball around, going inside out, and then finds a nice backdoor cut against that zone. Ties it up 90-90 with a minute left here. Another note, both teams are in the bonus, so any foul from this point on will push them to the free throw line.
Torres double-teamed. She kicks corner to Wolford. She hasn't scored much today, but she makes a big one tonight in the overtime period. Jenna Wolford.
When it matters most. She missed the 2 free throws at the end of the fourth quarter, and I know she was down on herself. She knocks down the 3 there with a hand in her face. Great defense or offensive possession from the Lady Eagles. You need to be smart here on the defensive end. Don't foul. Hands up. Try and keep this win.
She was 1 for 12 through regulation and possibly hits the biggest shot of the game. Dowdith goes inside to Johnson. Woods, floater, good.
Oriana Woods now has 29.
Brewer gets it out to Wolford. Wolford hitting possibly the biggest shot of her career. Nearly gets the traveling violation. And a foul on Arnold.
Very smart there from Coach Sellers. Alyssa Brewer was pushing the ball down the floor, was about to go 2-on-2. Coach Sellers is screaming at her, we don't need it. You're up by 1. You are the one who gets to play with the clock now. She clears it out, moves the ball around, and Campbellsville's coach, Coach Tribble, I know was trying to get her girls to foul. Took them a few extra seconds. Alyssa Brewer at the free throw line.
We're going to only talk in between shots here because there's not that many people here in the stands. So the next voice you'll hear is between us.
That's what I'm trying to say.
2 clutch free throw there from Alyssa Brewer. Gives her 21 points on the night. Now the Lady Eagles are up by 3, 95-92. 11 seconds left here in this first overtime period. Coach Tribble once again has Oriana Woods, who scored 29 points for him tonight, but he also has Jaden Douthit, who's his best 3-point shooter. And at this moment, you kind of need a 3-pointer. So I think he's going to rely on Douthit, maybe get her coming off a screen, try and get her to knock down a shot and tie this game up.
11 seconds remaining in the overtime. The ball's advanced. You never know. We could be going to another overtime period tonight in the Nest. Yeah. We'll step aside briefly. The sophomore Haley Ward makes her first appearance in this game. Braden, you saw her warm up today. She's possibly one of the best three-point shooters the Pioneers have.
Yeah, in warm-ups I was watching her shoot, and she was knocking down about everything she was taking. So obviously Coach Tribble, knowing that he's got a really good shooter on his bench, puts her in the game. Again, coming off the bench, you're a little cold.
And that's a steal by Phelps! The layup can end it! And it indeed does for Leah Phelps!
High risk, high reward. Leah Phelps goes for the steal, is able to get it, pushes the Lady Eagles lead to 5. Oriole Woods puts up a three-pointer at the buzzer, but the Lady Eagles fight, and they keep fighting. Down 14 at the end of the first quarter. They fight back in the second quarter, get a 2-point deficit at halftime. They fight third and fourth quarter, push it to an overtime, pull out a 97-92 overtime win. What a game.
The number 2 and the number 5 clash, the Pioneers so far undefeated against ranked opponents. That ends today. Leah Phelps with an amazing 29 points after being scoreless in the first quarter.
That was a fantastic game from the Lady Eagles. Communication, defensively. The only note that I would give, and I'm sure Coach Sellers will talk about this maybe tomorrow in practice because the girls are going to want to ride high on this win tonight, but rebounding is where we struggled a little bit. We gave up a few rebounds on free throws and just in general gave up a lot of offensive rebounds. We need to keep them off the offensive glass. But other than that, Lady Eagles played a fantastic game, and man, what a fun game to watch. 97-92.
An incredible win against an incredible opponent, but the Eagles remain unbeaten in 2023 at home. Alvin Chapman alongside with Braden Motter. Braden, it's great to be back alongside with you. We will see you next time.